And this happened before. My son has Lyme disease. And we went and saw this specialist. I posted this as soon as it happened. This infectious disease specialist, been doing this for 30 years and da 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 da. He didn't exist. I Googled him as soon as I left. According to what I saw online, he was still a student. No pictures, no awards, no merits, no nothing. A student. But he's been dealing with Lyme disease for 30 years, since it started. And he was foreign. NATO, Russian, Polish, one of them. People will say I'm paranoid and crazy, but I'm telling you, I will be proven right. I know it. I do not get lied to by God. And now I went for these tests. I have liver problems. My knees, I can't walk sometime. I was sick for 6 weeks in a row. And when I went, I was sick, but my white blood cell count wasn't even elevated. Every test that I took was what it would show in the book, what the results for a normal person would be. Except I don't eat. I could sleep 24 hours a day. I'm exhausted all the time. I'm sick, tired, in pain. My back, I went for x-rays. My back bulges out on both sides. My wife could look and say, this side, left side, right side. They took x-rays. There's nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing wrong with me. I don't believe it for a second. I'll be proven right. I know I will. They stopped following me too. That's another thing. Well, they haven't stopped. They follow. That guy asked me, where did they pick you up at? And now all of a sudden they're not on me like they were before. Because I told the agent right there to his face, I know that they're following me. I watch them all the time. My wife watches them. The day I talked to him, within 3 or 4 days after that, all of a sudden, it's nothing like it was. They would be on me everywhere I went. They're still there. I catch them all the time, but they're not as obvious as they were. And that's what that sister servant of God said too. They have lists of the true Christians. They know them, and they're gonna come get us. So everybody that's waiting to get raptured, you better get ready. Because if you're a true Christian, you're gonna be in a camp. I don't want to be a jerk, but that's just how it is. Like, we're gonna suffer. Our Father told us we will be persecuted for His name up until and including death. There's a reason for all them camps. There's a reason for all these laws. It's going to happen real soon. That cataclysmic event is coming. I can feel it more and more and more every day. It's getting closer and closer and closer. And the stuff with Russia, this is all orchestrated. People have no idea how long they've been planning this. The fall of the Soviet Union was a lie. It was all just an act, the whole thing. Those troops are here because they already know what Russia has planned, and the United States will retaliate, and there'll be war, and there's troops here. The whole thing's orchestrated, laid out, planned in advance for decades and decades and decades. And soon, we'll see how right I am. I don't want to be. I want to live here for the rest of my life, as long as I have, with my son and my wife. Cut the grass, go fishing, raise my child. But at the same time, I want to go home. And I'm honored that God forgave me as much as He has and has given me a purpose. I'm trying really hard to be as close to Him as I can. I fail every day. I guess that's it. This thing's on 15 minutes. I'm going to have to split the video. Sorry. I don't like splitting them. There's more stuff. I'm freezing now. It was so nice before. The sun was out. It was beautiful. The number's 44 still. Oh, yeah. I've been getting 9/11. A lot. A real lot. I'll wake up at 9/11, look at the clock at 9/11, which is no big deal. I look at the clock all day. But when I look at the clock and it says 9/11, I get that feeling of disgust and sorrow in my stomach, like, ugh, like a punch to the gut. I don't know what's going on. There's so much happening with the plane being gone and people there's so much in my head. I wish I could keep it straight. And it's my fault, because if I would just make my videos When a subject hits me in the head or he pushes something on me, if I would just sit down and do it, because then it ends up with 50 million subjects in my head and they're so hard to keep track of. Heaven is beautiful. I didn't get to see the streets of gold or none of that stuff. I just meant the feeling of it. All it is being in the presence of God's love. It's beautiful. For everybody that thinks this is all a joke and we're all nuts and God isn't real and we're not in the end days and I'm a paranoid schizophrenic and there's nobody following me and there's nothing wrong. Very, very soon. Seems like I've been saying that for months. I think I have. But it's getting closer. You can't help but see the earthquakes and everything. It's just constant. You will hear of earthquakes in diverse places and wars and rumors of wars and everywhere you turn the signs are just everywhere. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Constant, constant, constant. There's so much I want to say, but I think I've already said a lot of it. If you see this and you have any doubt as to whether or not God's real, He is. And all it is love, and He doesn't expect nothing in return except for you to love Him. Follow His commandments. That's another thing. I sent a brother a message that claims to be a watchman on the wall who's still talking about the rapture. And I told him, listen, what do you think about the second commandment where thou shalt make no engraven image unto thyself and of anything in heaven above or the earth below or the sea below the earth? He still didn't take it down. I prayed on that. I was told the truth. I was given the truth. A picture of Jesus Christ is a graven image. And as much as that sounds like some rotten thing to say, it's very specific. And whether or not we really bow down and worship those pictures, in a way we worship them. We put them at high esteem because it's a picture of our Father and we love Him. But it's still a graven image. And I'll be proven right on that. He shows me this stuff. I don't look for this stuff. I really don't. Like, all of a sudden, something would just hit me in the head. Bam! This is it. Say this. This is what I want said. This is what I am showing you. I tried to tell him, he don't want to listen. He's still preaching stuff about the rapture. You gotta stop, brother. And you have to take that picture of our Father down. It's a graven image, man. You don't believe me? That's fine. I don't expect you to. I am nobody. What you need to do is go into your closet, get on your knees, and our Father that hears in secret will answer in secret, and He will show you the truth. I don't expect anybody to believe anything I say. I expect them to get on their knees and take it to our Father, and He will show you. I'm just told what to say. You have to always double check with our Father. Even me, I don't expect anybody to believe, just take what I say as truth. You have to ask. He will never lie to you, and He promised He will show you. Heaven's real, God's real, hell's real, demons are real. They're getting worse too. I have to anoint my house, my cats, and everything. Because once that pit opens and them scorpion things come out, it's going to be bad. And I ain't getting attacked. That's another thing. I say that I don't want to fight, and I don't. Like, I don't want to fight the government. That's pointless. They're all going to hell anyway. Excuse my language. I want to cast demons out. I want to send them back to the pit. They tortured me my whole life. I was 5 years old, I could remember being 5 years old and wanting to die. 5 years old. I hated my life. I hated everything about this place. My life was 20-some years of misery and pain. And He took every bit of it. And I did not deserve it. But those demons, I want them to suffer. I want to go around and cast them out. That vision I had of seeing that one in Home Depot, that will happen. And when it does, I'm going after it. When I was in jail, I started teaching myself Latin, Greek, and Hebrew. Out of nowhere. I just had the overwhelming urge to learn Latin, Greek, and Hebrew. And it came to me like learning English. I want to fight them. And if you don't believe they're real, you're going to see real soon. They're walking around right now. I was shown a demon in the flesh. His face was horrible. He looked just like us. But once I got closer, the Holy Spirit, I didn't see with my eyes, I saw with my spirit that his face was cracked and rotten. And his eyes were like looking into a pit of tar, except they were full of hate. I want to go to war with him. I don't know. Our Father did it. That's all he did while he was here. He healed people and cast out demons. You can't believe in Jesus Christ and expect to tell yourself the demons aren't real. That's all he did. And that's another thing, too. Easter's coming. Jesus Christ rising from the dead has absolutely nothing to do with Easter bunnies or Easter eggs. My child is not going to celebrate Easter. And my family is going to give me a hard time about it. But you know what? I know the truth. Oh, that's right. I'm going to turn this way. Get the sun out. Oh, sorry. Yeah. He's not getting an Easter basket. He's not getting a bunch of chocolate. He's not... Jesus Christ rising from the dead has nothing to do with that. And if you go and do that, it's pagan. I don't know where they pulled the Easter bunny from with Easter, with Christ rising from the dead. There has to be some pagan meaning behind that. I'm going to research it, please. It's nuts. Chocolate crosses. Are you crazy? Are you really that nuts? And everybody wonders why he's mad. He hung on that cross and let them spike his hands and beat him, spit on him, thorns and crowns, and they're going to hand out Easter bunnies? People better wake up, man. You're going to find out the hard way. Nobody listens. I tried telling my grandmother. She don't want to hear it either. They all think I'm nuts. You know what? I know the truth. And I am not going to stand in front of him and have him ask me, well, what was with the Easter egg hunt? It's not going to happen. I love him too much. I just can't do it. And if you pray and search your heart, he'll convict you. He will. He did it to me with Christmas, too. He loves us, but he's also very stern. Strict, not strict. I don't know how to put it into words. He just expects us to follow his rules, just like any father. Oh, I'm shivering. Camera's shaking. I'm going back in the house. It was so nice today. Sorry this is a bunch of jumbled mess. I just had to get this stuff out. Now maybe whatever comes in next will come in clearer, whatever he's trying to tell me. He's been trying to talk to me all day. I had so much to do and couldn't hear. There was already so much in my head. If you don't know God, he's just waiting. He loves you with all his heart, whether you believe it or not, no matter what you've done. If I could tell you half the crimes that I committed, and was forgiven, because he loves it. There's no use holding on to everything that you've done your whole life. He already paid for it. I guess that's it. I'm really getting cold. Sorry about the length of this video. Love you guys. Jesus loves you. God bless.